playoffs is not too far away. These two teams want to get there, and so this match will be a very important one. We have the Nutmeg Warriors, the Safforn Strikers. They are looking to make sure that they get to the playoffs. We have match referee Norman Gilbert with us. We're going to have the toss. And so, Andre, you won the toss yet again. Your decision?
We would have a bowl first.
All right. Again, you having a bowl, the conditions seem to favor maybe a bit of swing.
Actually, there is a bit of weather wrong, so the team batting second always have a chance to calculate their run chase. So, having said that, we have to come out there and put the balls in the right area, try to restrict them as low as possible, and then hopefully we chase it down.
Well, you're sitting second in the table on 8 points, hoping for a win today just to maybe cement your place?
Yeah, for sure. That's the most important thing. We wanted to be in the top 2. So once we get that, the playoffs is for sure. We are in the playoffs, and then see if we can win the first and second playoff.
All right, well, thank you very much, Fletcher, and good luck as you go through this game. I'm going to be speaking with the captain of the Safforn Strikers. Safforn Strikers will be batting first game. Any idea of a total that you think will be safe for your bowlers?
We believe that anything over 100 would be challenging for the team batting second, so we'll go there and try to get that.
You had a bit of momentum, you lost it. You seem to have gathered a bit from your previous game. What is the mood like in the camp?
I mean, everyone is feeling good. We just have to stick to the basics and keep doing the right thing for long periods of time. So hopefully we come out victorious today.
All right, well, good luck to you. And we're saying that we're going to be ready in a few minutes where we will see the first ball in this very important encounter. Cinnamon versus Nutmeg.
So let me welcome you back here to the Lassajas playing field as we prepare to witness what would be a very important game for both teams. With Safforn Strikers on 6 points, and they really would be happy to pick up another 2. Nutmeg Warriors on 8 points. So really, the tournament is an interesting stage as we go down to the end, just looking to come up with the last 4. So Safforn Strikers are going to take first strike. And really would be hoping to really put a score on the board that would be very, very challenging to the Nutmeg Warriors, who have shown that they have tremendous batting in the squad. Just to give you the teams before the first ball is being bowled. Safforn Strikers, Otel Lewis, Kemp Charles, Javel St. Paul, Rickel Sylvester, Sheehan Buffett, Ruel Williams, Adrian Thomas, Neilon Pascal, Tyrone Charles, Kevin Francis, and Justin John. So the players out, Nico B. John and Jamal Andrews. Picking up the attack, Nyron Belfont, left arm. He's bowling over the wicket. And the first run is being scored. So Sylvester off the mark with 1. Nutmeg Warriors, Andrew Fletcher, captain, Daniel McDonald, Javon Andrew, John Olive, Josh Thomas, Enoch Toussaint, Kellis Andrew, Thierry Francis, Kyle Rameau, Nyron Belfon, and Dujon Charles. So the players out is Michael Henry and Chris Alexander. So both batsmen out, ball push down to long off. Nutmeg Warriors really would want to continue the winning ways. They are second in the standing. Driven down to mid-off, goes over mid-off and down to the boundary for the first 4. Good shot by Sylvester, not having to do too much with the ball, pitched up, just choked it over mid-off. Safe shot and picking up the first boundary.
Yeah, got the front foot out of the way, just to free his hands. And with the front foot out of the way, it's easy to allow the hand to go through the line of the ball. So that was a good strike.
6 without loss. Push your cover. It's all about timing here. And they're going to just stop just inside the boundary. And very good running. And they picked up 3 in the process.
Not very often you get 3 on this ground, but we've seen a few occasions when the batsmen were able to push for 3. It was played skillfully, and with the fielder having to run back a long way, resulted in 3. Well run.
This one goes down to backward square and chopped just short of the fielder coming off the boundary. Again, Sylvester looking to really hook. They really didn't get hold of that delivery.
Yeah,
Kemp Charles
did go onto the back foot, but the ball may have just come on a little faster than anticipated.
Yeah, I thought it also bounced a bit higher than you probably expected. Was safe. So that completes the first over. Safforn Strikers, they are 10 without loss. And this game will be a really important game for both teams. Nutmeg Warriors will want to cement their position, and you probably would all, the top team, you either would want to be 1 or 2. Again, giving yourself a second opportunity when you come down to the playoff. Nutmeg Warriors is on 8 points. 2 points will bring them on 10, which means that no one else is going to reach them. Now, if Safforn Striker would have win this game, they get 2 points. That would move them from 6 to 8. So really going to join them. So really in an intriguing position.
But of course, both teams would still feel nicely placed. First over having been bowled, a good start by Safforn Strikers. They're 11 without loss.
So Belfon, first over, just going for 11. So just to bring you up to date with a few bits of stats as we prepare for Josh Thomas. Again, down the leg side. Has been having a little difficulty with the wides Thomas coming in from that northern end. And we know he brings the ball back into the right hand. I just need to check his line a little bit. Probably aim to pitch more off stump, just outside off stump. And this one pitching maybe just around midland leg and going further down the leg side. That's a line just a bit too wide again. That's a line you should be looking the ball off stump line. So we had 247 sixes already hit in the tournament, quite a high proportion of sixes. 261 fours, 262 fours. We had 1 in this inning. 262 fours. Full toss hit down to a wide mid-on. So one more to score 14 without loss into the second over.
April, just an update in the West Indies women versus England women's match 2020. West Indies women sent into bat. They are now 103 for 6. 103 for 6. Interestingly, Hayley Matthews not out 70 or 48.
Yet another wide. Yeah, pretty. A lot would depend upon Hayley Matthews in this series. She has really shown the metal she has made out of. And probably would be important for the bat right through the inning.
Yeah, but the other batters have batted to make some 36 runs. The other 6 wickets that have fallen.
So Thomas continues to struggle a bit. This one again wide. Ball outside the off stump and going further away. He just seemed to be a bit disturbed there. But so far, Thomas has bowled 4 wides in his first over.
Yeah, that's not good going at all. Means that there are 4 extra deliveries that he must bowl. It's going to be a long over.
In the air, full toss goes back to the bowler, who takes a rather simple catch. And Kem Charles, he just missed it out on what really should be a delivery that he really should put away. And you could see him there very disgusted, looking to play on the onside and see him hit the top of the bat and just lob back to the bowler.
Yeah, it's ironic because the bowler wasn't. Thomas hasn't really been bowling hasn't had a good first over, bowled a number of wides, then bowled a full toss. And Kem Charles did not make the best of it, spooned it up in the air, and the catch taken by the bowler off his own bowling, of course, in his follow-through.
Yeah, I sort of mistimed it there, and I didn't get the impression it was a slow delivery neither. Probably maybe played too early as we look at it here. Wow, and it was down the leg side.
And it was going down the leg side. He could have tickled it.
Yeah. I think he probably was looking to hit it too straight. Probably if he played a little square, because it actually passed him.
That's correct. So he should have been trying to tickle that down to fine leg and pick up 4. Instead, he tried to hit it too straight. You're right. Maybe across the mid wicket. Brought about his demise.
Yeah, you could see that he looked very disappointed after playing that shot.
And should be too. It's not the delivery that you expect to get a batsman out. At least not a top order batsman. But again, those things do happen. Don't think any batsman generally wants to get out.
So 16 for 1. And Thomas driven beautifully over cover for 4. What a lovely shot. Ball pitched up. And he played it beautifully over cover. And it raced to the boundary for 4.
Now, what made that even more impressive was the fact that it was the first delivery he was facing. Outside the off stump, went across and spanked it lovely through extra cover. Gosh, that was hit with great expertise and with a great deal of confidence too. Fine shot.
So Buffett off the mark with 4. And looking at the boundary hits for 4, we had now 263, and Buffett is probably the second highest in hitting 4s. He has now hit 16 4s in the tournament, We have Nicosie Saint-Hilaire all hitting 18, standing at the top. So nice little competition coming there. And Buffett would want to go past him. Hit down to mid-wicket really powerfully, and they just picked up one. Really should have picked up two there. And Sylvester looking to swing it, probably looking to pick the gap between the mid-wicket and the mid-on. But sort of dragged it around and get it to the mid-wicket position.
Yeah, but
a little fumble by the mid-wicket fielder.
That's why it's important to put pressure on the fielders. Go for your first run very quickly. There are a couple of advantages of going for your first run quickly. As the over comes to an end, 2 overs gone, it's 22 for 1. Well, the first is that if you run the first run quickly, you can now assess as to whether you've got sufficient time to go for the second one. Now, the other reason for running the first run quickly is to put pressure on the fielder. When the fielder realizes that you want to, he is pressured and very often takes his eyes off the ball. So those are 2 cardinal reasons as to why it's important to go for that first run very quickly.
Yeah, also added to that, it's important in terms of how you turn, because you really at your ground, you ought to face that direction of delivery. So any slight misfield, now both players going to see and know whether or not this will come back for the second run or to remain on 1. So the first over from Thomas, he went for 10 and actually had to bowl 10 deliveries in that particular over, having 4 no balls in his first over. Charles pick up the attack from this southern end, commentators end. It's 22 for 1 going into the third over. So we see quite a number of 6s. It's hit. We know at one time there were more 6s than 4s. Short ball hit down to cover the fielder on the boundary. Have enough time to move to his left. Just one added to the score.
Safforn strikers into the third, and they would want to first consider what's a good total for Nutmeg Warriors, the defending champions, to go after. They won't have less than 100 in the back of their minds at all.
This one is hit in the air, and the fielder at backward square just accept a really simple catch there. And the batsman there, Buffett, looking to swing this one somewhere over mid-wicket, having to reach for it, and really didn't seem to get hold of it or even get in the position. And a simple catch taken there by Fletcher.
Yes, and of course, when you got to reach for it like that, it's difficult for you to be able to control it and to roll the wrist over it. So it wasn't surprising that that ball went in the air and spent a long time in the air. Fletcher got a simple catch. Safforn strikers in over number 3. They've lost another wicket. They're now 23 for 2.
Yeah, they would have really ill afford to lose a wicket of Buffett. He's one of the persons that really had some pretty good innings. Strikes the ball very well. That really didn't get going today. Just hit one boundary. Take his boundary tally to 16. So Nicosie Saint-Hilaire still at the top with 18 fours, hitting the tournament. But good start for Nutmeg Warriors, picking up 2 early wickets. They are 23 for 2. The left-handed Javel St. Paul.
And just a quick update, West Indies women 113 for 6. Hayley Matthews 75. So there is a question as to whether Hayley Matthews can score another 2020 century. It's got 25 to get there, and I think just about 4 of us remaining. Interesting. Current run rate is 6.91. So with 2 wickets having fallen in relatively quick succession, Safforn strikers would want to, here with St. Paul and Sylvester, build back just to restore things, while of course turning the strike over.
Yeah, a lovely shot played down to cover. A really good timing there by Sylvester. He got on top of this one and really played it nicely. Just was not able to pick the gap there. Picked up the single. The third over comes to an end. 25 for 2 Safforn strikers. And really would be hoping get a sort of partnership that will really set the platform to have them score way over the 100 mark.
Yes. Safforn strikers. This match, of course, if they get a win here, just sort of boost their confidence. They'll want that. But of course, the Nutmeg Warriors, they have been bubbling with confidence, really. They're at the top of the point standing table. They've done a good job. Led by the experienced Andrew Fletcher.
So we've seen here in terms of the sixes being hit, again Darren Ned remains at the top with 22 sixes. Dujan Charles 17.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting as who would come out at the top, but
yeah.
Ned is a big hitter, a good all-rounder too, fine player of the game of cricket.
Turn down to fine leg, and this one goes down to the boundary for 4. Just train down the leg side a little bit there, Daniel McDonald. Just turn, just glance. And we're very fine, St. Paul, picking up another boundary.
Yes, slanting down the leg side, and whatever margin of error that is, once it's down the leg side, then you know there is a possibility of a leg by or a wide or maybe a tickle down to fine leg. That's why it's so important to be careful not to be going outside the leg stump.
So we just want to commend the efficient scorers who have been keeping us up to date with this information. Paulette Hankey, Zia Noel, Elon James, Gerard Noel, and Kim Charles. Noel and Charles are actually players, but certainly they are skilled, efficient enough to do some scoring. This one goes down, back past the ball, and probably a bit of, not sure if it crossed the rope. No, it just
the
stopped.
umpire doesn't signal, so it stopped just inside, I reckon.
Yeah. So 2 more runs. Your scorers have been doing quite an efficient job, keeping us up to date with what is happening.
Gosh, and they're so important in this game of cricket, sometimes unheralded. And very often you don't even know their names. But quite frankly, they are the ones who furnish everybody with vital statistics and vital information.
And I'm pretty sure that these are scorers, Paulette Hankey and Zia Noel, probably these are some of our top scorers that probably might be used in the test match here. Very efficient at what they do.
Well done, ladies. Should they take a bow, Rapel?
They deserve it.
Yes. I reckon they've just made a little bow.
Yeah, they have been very efficient. And one must commend them. One for the commitment, sticking with it.
Very efficient, I must say. Really, they are. And in addition to that, very pleasant too. And you have a combination of pleasantry and efficiency. Oh, you don't want much more than that.
You look in the swing. Appeal there, but I just seem to have made the ground now. They are checking to see. And Sylvester going for the big swing. They missed.
But it was quick work by Andrew. Really quick.
Yeah,
Quick work.
Have an indication to see what's happening there. It was pretty quick.
Yeah, he was fast behind the stumps. Did he get his man?
Yeah, pretty interesting to see. Always looked at. I know his foot probably. Let's see.
Well, let's look at it again. Down the track, misses it, taken, yes.
Yeah, really good work by the keeper there. And that was my first instinct, that he did make it. Let's see, they are still. Umpires is just trying to make sure that they make the right decision.
Fingers just gone up, so given. Good work by Andrew. The ball did have a bit of bounce attached to it.
Yeah, and I think because of the bounce, it took a little more time, but you could see as he clipped the bail, the bat was above, so it wasn't touching. Good decision. And another important blue struck by Nutmeg Warriors, 35 for 3. And the wicket of Sylvester. Rickle Sylvester. He was stumped by Andrew of the bowler McDonald. He went for 14, faced 11 deliveries and batted for 21 minutes, hit 1-4. So another good start for Nutmeg Warriors.
Yeah, it's good work, really good work behind the stumps by Andrew.
And we're looking at a projected score of just 88.
Yeah, that's not good.
They wouldn't be happy with the start.
But they're just in over number 4. I'd like to see where there will be maybe after 6 overs to get a better idea as to what that total might look like in the end. Adrian Thomas comes out, but won't be taking strike. Yes, actually took strike because it was the end of the over. So it's a quiet afternoon.
Yeah, very, very calm on the outside.
Rather calm.
There's a little overcast, and it has been so for really maybe for the last 3 days. But look very, very calm, light breeze blowing across. It's sort of condition that would make the fielders feel very comfortable. Charles in the second over. Short delivery seemed to taking a high up on the bat.
He got himself in a bit of a tangle there.
Thomas didn't handle that the best way. He was looking to play it and really just seemed to climb on him. Very deceptive is Charles. This was one you could see that he put a lot into, and it bounced. And it goes for 4. Bad miss by the fielder on the third man boundary there. So we put a little bit of little casual there, and the ball just went through his hand and rolled over the ropes.
That could be very embarrassing, of course, for any player who thinks he's got it covered and then maybe getting on uncertain bunks or probably just taking his eyes off the ball.
Hit to mid-wicket, the fielder comes wrong and takes a good catch. Again, short delivery, and Thomas is looking to pull, not getting over it. And again, seemed to be rushed into the shot. And the fielder at mid-wicket, they coming across, Ramu, and taking a rather simple catch. He made it look simple, but he had to move well.
Yeah, you're right. Never cued it well. Timing was awful. And he's got every reason to be upset with himself. He's just knocked the helmet with the bat in disgust. Yeah, you could see the aggressive intention, yes, but never got over the ball. Wondered whether exactly what he wanted, whether he wanted to lift it all the way or to try and hit down on it and cover it. Well, somewhere between both of them, we were in over number 5 and it's 40 for 4.
Yes, you're right. He was in a position where he could have, well, where he was wondering whether to hit up or to hit down. But you could see him being rushed into the shot, being forced into the shot. Again, thing too is because of his position. So he had to pull, he had to sort of drag it across. If he moved that right foot into the wicket, he probably would have been in a better position.
Anthony Lewis is out to join St. Paul, who is 11 of 7.
But good bowling by Charles here, picked up 2 for 8.
Well bowled, really well bowled. Short and fast, dug in. Must have surprised the new batsman Lewis and went about shoulder height, connected by Andrew behind the stumps. So this has been a clinical display so far by Nutmeg Warriors, capturing 4 for 40 into the 5th. I think Raphael, they've got to be careful not to go into an ultra defensive frame of mind. Still want to play attacking cricket, but wise attacking cricket, that is.
Yeah, he called for really sensible batting. Whether you need to push it around and pick up the 1, the 2, just to throw the bowler off guard a bit. But this pair really would want to put some sort of partnership together. Whether they could, we have 5 completed over the halfway stage, 40 for 4. But you want to bat for the next 3 overs, really to push it. See how close you could get it to 100.
Just to let you know that West Indies women now 141 for 7. Hayley Matthew, she's on 96. 3 deliveries remaining. I think she's going to get the 100.
Yeah, a bit of a fight back. Is she facing?
Yeah, she is facing. 96 of 64 balls.
She would try to get 100, 141. They seem to have really fought back. And again, it's because of the inning that she have played. McDonald in the second over, so far gone for 11. And Lewis looking to pull there, making no contact. Ball is rushing into his body.
Let work, boys.
41 for 4 to the 6th over. And this is hit. Ball comes off the edge and they're going to go down to the third man boundary for 4. The third man being up and he flashed hard and it flew off the edge.
Well, they're going to take it however they get it. Whether they look pretty or ugly, it doesn't matter. Streaky or convincingly. The important things, their addition to a total that doesn't look so good so far.
So the score moves to 45.
So
Okay.
Haley Matthew not out 99.
But just before we come back to that, it's just an appeal for a run out there. So we're going to see if the player did make it as we look here. Yes. Everything.
Yes, actually, Haley Matthew got the 100 of the last delivery of the innings. So Haley Matthew exactly 100 not out of 67 ball, and out of a total of 146 for 7. Now, how do you really dissect that, take it apart with the other 7 batters producing only 46, while one player gets 100?
We tell you one thing, as the umpire are now convinced that they did go back for 2 runs and made it successfully. 47 for 4. And we 6 overs completed, a single of the last delivery. Or there's just 1 delivery to go. But I tell you one thing in terms of the batting, they seem to be, a big difference. Matthews batting, probably to the rest of the other batters.
Yeah, she's head and shoulder above the other players. Maybe barring at the end of Dotton and Stephanie Taylor. She's above them too, yes. But with a score of 147, one player getting 100 out of that, the other players getting 47 and 7 dismissals. Only 2 of whom others got into double figures. It tells you that the batting of the West Indies is not very, very good. Admittedly, Dottin, Campbell, Taylor, 3 good, very good players are not playing in this match. But it's a good opportunity for the younger sets to come to the fore and showcase their talent and their ability.
Yeah, but it also tells you how great a player is Matthews.
Oh, yes.
And you have to be a tremendous player with the wicket falling around you and to be able to bat, and I assume that she would have opened the batting.
Yes, she did.
So it meant that really she would have taken up the responsibility. A great deal of maturity, is required in situation like that.
Appeal for cut behind, gone.
Shortest delivery, first delivery bowled by Enoch Toussaint. And the batsman, the lowest look in the pull. And as we look at it here, really, he swung at it. Its body really far away from the delivery and just take the top of the bat. And a simple catch right to the keeper.
Now that's poor. A ball outside the off stump. Where do you want to hit it? It looked as though you wanted to flat bat that. Or maybe hit that through mid-wicket. There's no need to do that, though. He could have just get closer to the ball and cut the ball down to backward point. And one wonders why many of our players are not prepared to cut the ball. They want to take it from outside the off stump and pull it through the mid-wicket area. Well, if you're out there and the ball is outside the off stump, it is much easier for you to hit it in the direction that the ball is going rather than going against the tide. And I don't think you have to play cricket for 20 years to know that.
Yeah, it was a poor shot selection there. Probably could have even stayed down to third man, wide of the third man fielder. It was short enough, but it's good to see Toussaint now is coming from this southern end. Normally we see him coming in from the northern end. But does look a really good talent is Enoch Toussaint.
There's an appeal for caught behind. Not out this time, says the umpire. More optimistic than anything else, but he was driving.
It's one
John almost lured into that delivery outside the half stump. Almost suckered him.
one of the young players who would have really progressed. Enoch Toussaint. Still a young player, just under 19.
Yeah, I like the fact that in this tournament, there's so many young players getting an opportunity to showcase their skill and to learn while playing among the more experienced ones. That's very good. And all the teams got younger bloods to learn. Very good indeed.
Driven. St. Paul lofted this one and goes for it's over long on for Carib.
Yeah, good Carib power hit maximum. Got under it.
Just make sure that it goes yet.
Yeah.
Straight.
And he kept the pose, Raphael. He knew he timed it well. Will make a nice camera shot there. Went for the maximum.
Yeah, over pitch, really given the right treatment. And you see the young bowler in Toussaint, they really coming back smartly, and bowler just shot of length lifting. And St. Paul really had to defend. 50.
Nice contest here between these two. All the fives, 55 for 5, open number 7 in progress. No, that is beautiful. That is very skillful. It was short outside the off stump, and for a fleeting moment, it looked as though St. Paul wanted to cut, and then at the last moment, opened up the face of the bat and just glided it, so to speak, down to third man for 4. But we've seen some interesting shots. That one was cleverly played.
Yeah, very good shot and really good thinking there. As we see that, yeah.
Very good. There was a bit of inward movement, Raphael. He was preparing to cut the ball, saw that the ball was jagging back into him, realized that he wouldn't be able to cut it, and just stayed on the back foot, opened the face and the blade slightly upward, and glided it down to third man for 4.
Yeah, sensibly played, you know.
Yeah.
As it came back, he pulled his body back just to give him the room. And really played sweetly.
Nice, really nice. I just love to see those innovations. Oh, they will come back for the second run. At first, it didn't look as though they were interested in it, but then saw the opportunity and decided to go for it.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think they were thinking that there was a second run there. But that's the importance of looking at the ball even before you reach it, so you know if to turn and come back. That didn't pass far from the stumps there. He looking to pull, and John ball just dropping down and just rolled past the leg stump, it seemed. 61 for 5, and this pair just coming together. Just 13 runs they added.
But might just turn out to be 13 invaluable runs. They need a good score here. It doesn't look so good now. They're into over number 8.
Belfont in his second over, keeping things pretty tightly.
Yeah, he's none for 13 so far. Has bowled pretty well.
John not being able to do much with that delivery, short of a length. And being able to, again, a credit have to be given to the groundsman. And the pitch continues to play well. There's still a bit of bounce. And if you bend your back, you get a bit of bounce. This one past the keeper, staying down. And they're coming back for 2 there. And what tremendous running there. Really good running.
Very good. The keeper was already up. Not the best throw from down to third man, but I think the batsmen saw there was an opportunity to come back for the second, and they did so. Got it without alarm.
So 2 leg byes. Ball coming off the pad of John. Good stop by the cover fielder. Well played by John. He hit it down and really hit it well, but just was not able to pierce the offside field. And the cover fielder stopping. It's 64 for 5. Into the 8th over. Belfont in the 2nd over. So far none for 14. Short ball comes off the glove. Let's see. Yes, and he walks here. Again, probably taking him by surprise. The ball rushing out to him, and St. Paul, they not being able to get out of the way or get into a position to play the pull shot that he intended. And they seem to have come off the gloves and lofted to the keeper. And
it was well directed. It's a well directed bouncer. It hustled onto him. Couldn't get inside the line to pull. Ball wrapped him on the glove. And Andrew taking a simple catch behind the stumps. So Niran Belfont picking up his first wicket. He's 1 for 14. 8 overs gone. 64 for 6.
Yeah, and credit to Belfont. He bowled well. I think his first over was a good one. He didn't go for much. And he came back with his second spell. And continued to keep things very tight. Using his variation every now and again. I think that last one was a quicker one than St. Paul's. Really was caught in no man's land. And really couldn't pull. And he couldn't play a shot actually. And the ball taking the gloves and lobbing to the keeper. So credit to Belfont. He did bowl a good over.
Yeah, it was a good over. And just put further strain on the Safforn strikers, who are now 64 for 4. They've got 2 overs to go and would want to extend this maybe to get it up to 90. But these remaining 2 overs it's got to be expensive. The strikers would want to really be aggressive and go hard.
Fletcher, short ball with swing down to mid wicket. Let's see, the fielder comes in and takes a simple catch. Again, short ball, and John not being able to take full toll of that delivery, as we see there. And
I think wanting to go over the top, but didn't cue it all that well.
So Charles is the one that took that catch, short delivery. He had a little bit of bounce. And again, the ball. And
good catch too, because it was dropping on him. Had to make coverage coming in, maybe about 10, 15 yards, and in the end took a good catch.
So Fletcher picking up a wicket with his first delivery. 64 for 7.
Fancies himself as a good leg spinner, you know.
Always do. What I can tell you is that I know that he turns.
Yes.
I really turned that leg break. He really turns.
Well, I mean, he's a all-rounded player because he's done so much wicket keeping over the years. And not many wicket keepers, of course, take the ball and bowl.
But I can tell you at the under 19 level, when he played, he do a lot of, no, on the 15 level, he do a lot more bowling that he's actually doing today. But really would have specialized, he would have strengthened the ability to bat. So really his main focus is batting, but does possess the ability to bowl some real good leg spin.
Yes, and puts quite a bit of revs onto it. Maybe not so much today, just seeking to get line and length. But I'm told when he's practicing in the net, you can hear the whizzing sound when he's bowling leg spin. With the
Full
ball.
toss, hit down to mid-wicket, and let's see, yes, it's now been signaled 6.
And a no ball also.
Carry
signal.
power hit. And this is, we expect that from the leg spinners, particularly if you're not a leg spinner that bowls regularly. You're going to bowl the short one, you're going to bowl the full one. This was a full toss. And Williams taking full advantage and hitting it down over mid-wicket for another carry power hit.
Yes, tore in 6 and got what it deserved. It was a ranked full toss that he lifted nicely out of the ground. That's what batsmen must do when you get bad deliveries. You've got to learn to put them away.
71 for 7. Just to go back to Fletcher, even at his on the 15 level, he created some impact. I can remember Trinidad and Tobago in particular. Short delivery. Yes, he hits the ball so hard even at the young stage. You know, they came over to see the Fletcher show.
Yes.
Playing for the Windwards, you know, and I can never
Tobago.
forget that the Windwards tournament was played in Trinidad, and he was playing for Grenada and really was hitting the ball fiercely. And the late Tony Harford.
Tony Harford.
Yeah, he also came over just to see the Fletcher show.
Yes. And I remember Tony Harford talking about this young star who was hitting the ball so clean and so hard and finding the boundary with alarming regularity.
But that completes the 9th over. Fletcher's first over, just going for 8, picking up 1 wicket. And Safforn strikers, after 9 overs, are 72 for 7. Really, it's not a sort of start that I think they would have expected.
Just a 1 over to go. And the current run rate is exactly 8. You'd want to bring that up at least to 9 and try to make this final over a potent one. Safforn strikers maybe thinking about getting about 15 in this. If they do, then it'll give them a much better working total to deal with. But at 72 for 7, not the best total after 9. So the final over coming up.
To Saint, and he went for 11 in his first over, picked up 1 wicket. I see the fielders are really spreading on the boundary. Third man, Olive on the boundary, there's mid-wicket.
Thought about the second and decided against it, but Williams looked as though he wanted the second. Francis was not interested. In the end, they aborted the idea. Or Williams did, rather.
Yeah, Kevin Francis not yet off the mark. Hitting this one to cover. And what a great catch taken there at cover. And for once, it didn't look as though it was taken, but really, it would be interesting to see that catch. And taken one-handed. Let's see who's...
Brilliant. Really brilliant. Let's look at it again. Made room. Hit it inside out. One-handed. Brilliant.
Yeah,
really brilliant.
Great catch. And that's Josh Thomas taking that catch. But he really took a splendid catch.
Well, we saw one early on today by Katoy. And you'd want to compare both of them, the margin of difficulty. I still think that Katoy's was much more spectacular, and the margin of difficulty was higher than that one, but not taking anything away from that catch. That was a fantastic catch by Thomas.
Yeah, very good catch. And one by Katoy was taken at mid-wicket.
No, I think it was still...
Yeah,
it's approaching the boundary. It was a really fine catch.
73 for 8. Tyrone Charles. More known for his fast bowling. He has 4 deliveries apiece. As Toussaint picked up his second wicket. So good to see how that young player would have progressed. He works hard. He's running with all the confidence. Two for 12.
Yeah, this is turning out to be a good over, though, for the Nutmeg Warriors. Total is 73 for 8. We're into the 10th over. Just 2 legal deliveries remaining. Ball peeling off the outer edge and going down to third man. They get a comfortable single. So this should be the final delivery in this over and in the innings coming up.
Yeah, Nutmeg Warriors will be very happy with a bowling effort.
So that completes the inning. That was the final delivery. Had a big swing at it. Didn't make contact. Keeper collecting behind the stump. So the Safforn strikers, after 10 overs, 74 for 8. 74 for 8. And obviously not the kind of total they were looking for. They certainly would have liked to have maybe another 20 runs to make that a walking fighting total, especially as they're playing against a team that has been playing really good in the tournament, in the Nutmeg Warriors. So, although it's usually said runs on the board, it's already runs on the board, but we still think that it's not maybe the kind of total that they would have liked to post, so that the Nutmeg Warriors will try to chase that down.
Yeah, we'll be disappointed with just having scored 74 in their turnovers for 8 wickets. But as you said, it's runs on the board.
So Belfont picked up 1 for 14 of 2. There was a wicket for Josh Thomas, 1 for 11 of 1. Charles had 2 for 8 of 2 overs. He bowled quite brilliantly. And there was 1 wicket apiece for McDonald and Andre Fletcher, 18 and 8 respectively. McDonald, of course, bowling 2 overs. And Enoch Toussaint had 2 for 13. So it turned out to be a pretty good bowling performance there. by the Nutmeg Warriors, restricting the opponent to 74 for 8. 74 for 8. In terms of the batting, well, Sylvester got 14 of 11 deliveries. The other two who followed, Kem Charles and Brathwaite, went in the single digit, 2 and 5 respectively. There's a good knock from St. Paul's, who scored 22 of 13. Adrian Thomas went for 4, 7 to Lewis, 4 to Justin John, and Kevin Francis, he went without scoring. Williams not out 8, and Charles not out 1. A total again repeating 74 for 8. So number of double figures there. So it's looking, and we notice that the point standing there, we have Clove Challengers there on 12 points. Nutmeg Warriors on 8, of course, looking for a victory in this one. Cinnamon Pacers, they're in position number 3. Well, they've got, in fact, 3 of them in position number 3, and all have played 7 matches. So that should be very interesting indeed. And, of course, Bailey Blasters down there at the bottom of the table. Interesting that, Raphael?
Yeah, very interesting position. Again, that who wins in this game if Nutmeg Warriors win, would really cement their position. We'll move from 8 to 10. Safforn Strikers really would have loved to move up to 8.
And 3 teams sporting 7 points.
But certainly, as you said, it runs on the board, and Nutmeg Warriors will have to make 75 if they're going to win this game. But one would think that they should be the more confident team, having to choose just 74 for victory.
Yes, it's not a big target. They've got to score at 7.5 runs per over to get over the victory line. So Safforn Strikers, 74 for 8 of 10. The Nutmeg Warriors, they need 75 to win, and we'll be right back so that we can bring you the run chase.
come in right and wrong.
So we're back here at the Lassages playing field. The weather continues to be really good. The sun is shining, not as brightly as we would have seen it probably last week, but really good condition. As Nutmeg Warriors begin to reply, they need 75 for victory, and victory that will take them up to 10 points. Dejon Charles. Not in any hurry. They're pushing both deliveries back to the bowler. Charles would have shown that he has the ability of clearing this boundary with ease. There's no sense of aggression the first few deliveries faced. And really there's no need. All of 10 overs to get 75 for victory. Played down to that fine leg position. Stopped just inside the boundary. And the batsman come back for 2. The off spin of Hotel Lewis.
Starting off with spin. Good move, Raphael.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's a good move. Yeah, and really, there's no need to rush, no need to hurry. You can afford to bat normally, play each ball on its merit, and probably get 75 in 10 overs because you will get a bad delivery every now and again. Lois Charles, who would have had some good scores in the tournament. One remembers 65 that he scored with quite a number of sixes. And being on 17 sixes at the moment. Let's give you an indication of the power that he has. They are just looking to confirm whether that delivery went for 4 or 2, as we see the replay here and seem to have been stopped.
Yeah, but if he stopped while the boot was touching the rope, it could be given 4, but...
Yeah, the umpires are satisfied that it was stopped. Driven straight back and just failed to hold on. And Lewis very disappointed there. Ball struck very hard. And he got both hands. It had to go down quickly. And just failed to hold on.
It would have been a brilliant catch. That came back very quickly indeed. That would have been one of the better catches in the tournament. It was hit hard. And it was hit to his right on his follow through.
Swing. This one to go for a carry power hit. He picked it up and really hit it smoothly over wide long on. A tremendous power. Again, we see the power there of Dejon Charles hitting another maximum.
Fine shot, really fine shot. Being dropped the previous delivery. And again, what a great effort that was on the part of Lewis. That ball came back to him like a rocket. And it didn't come straight to him, you know. He had to move to his right, sort of dive to his right. And went into the hand and dropped out. But it was a great effort from a very, very aggressive hard shot indeed. 1 over completed, 8 without loss.
Yeah, and he had to get down. And, you know, the difficulty in getting down quickly. But he did that and just failed to hold on.
It would have been spectacular. 2 great catches today. And this one would have been a 3rd.
So Neil and Pascal,
who has bowled very well in this tournament. So he has swung the ball.
Hit down to square cover.
Yeah, he has used his experience well. He's used the new ball well. Bowled with guile and got the ball to a way swing.
Yeah, that's very evident in terms of his experience that he used. Use a lot of variation and continue to get that ball to swing. One of his assets is to be able to swing the ball away from the right-hander. But he has been very consistent. Pascal. This one full to the bat and it goes down. The high delivery. No ball signal there, and I think this one seemed to have slipped out his hand and pass way above the waist height. And the umpire had no hesitation in signaling a no ball. That went down to the boundary for 4.
Yeah,
wide.
so the pepper put into the wound, so to speak. So ball that yielded 4, and then there's still a no ball attached to it.
Yeah, these small scores, you want to make sure that you cut down on the extras. Make it difficult for the team. This goes down to the boundary, and again, they're going to go for 4 more wides. Let's see. The umpire signals, and it's 4 more wides. And this is not the sort of start that the Safforn strikers would have wanted.
And not a start that Dylan Pascal wanted either. He really is way offline this afternoon. Probably this is his off day. But Nutmeg Warriors, they've careened. They've gone to 19 without loss and still in over number 2.
Yeah, so that's 10 runs in 2 deliveries. And it's still down the leg side. So quite an interesting over here. We had just 1 legal delivery. And already we had 11 runs scored in the over.
Maybe he might be thinking of going around the wicket. He's bowling over the wicket and just allowing the ball to angle down the leg side. Some bowlers may say, well, okay, let me try it from around the wicket this time. See what he does this time. Big swing, really big swing. You can see that inward swing, but he's got to get it right. If he's going to swing the ball, then he can't start it anywhere around the Midland leg. He's going to keep going, and it's going to make it difficult for the for the keeper to be able to control it behind the stumps. So he's got to start at around a little outside the off stump or off stump.
Clipped over mid-wicket. And another carry power hit. And that ball sailed over mid-wicket, just dropping 1 bounce and into the wall, just on the outside of the boundary. It has been a big 6. Really good timing.
Yeah. Remember what I said? He can't start it from about Midland leg. He's got to start it from outside the off stump. And the batsman knew where it would go. He's going to, with the swing, take it onto the leg stump and beyond.
And he's swinging. This one goes high in the air. Let's see. The long leg is coming around and takes the catch. And Pascal really coming back hard there. Shorter delivery, and Charles looking to pull and taking a high up on the back, down to long leg. And the fielder coming around there in Justin John, picking up that catch. And was successful, Pascal.
Quite frankly, I like the dismissal. I like it from the context that he was treated brutally in the early part of the over, and then he decided, look, I'm going to bring this one back, drop it shorter, and lure him into indiscretion, lure him into the hook shot. He did that, and, well, he earned the wicket, well bowled, and I think you saw experience coming out there.
Yes. Yeah, after starting with those couple of wides, he really came back there, being hit for 6. And just changed the length a bit, and probably could have been a quicker delivery too, and really rushed onto Charles. So 26 for 1, we're still in the second over. And Charles would have got up to 19 sixes, just 3 adrift from Darren Ned, who has hit 22 sixes. But you can see the ease in which Charles hit those sixes. The timing has been an asset.
Good time of the ball. And it does tell you it's not always how muscular you are, how hard you got the delivery, but rather how well you time it. In most cases, if it is well timed, it will stay hit.
Jevan Andrews plays it back to Pascal, who failed to hold on. Once again, we see another one being put down. First delivery there just came forward, and we
yeah, he should have taken that, but it's not easy to take those catches on your follow through. The good thing there for Pascal was that he was following through and veering away to his left, and the ball in fact came to his left. Let's look at it. So that is what makes it, let's say, easier to take, rather than if he had to change direction. He doesn't have to change direction here. It's to his left, the natural follow through, wraps him on the pad. There is an appeal for like before.
Yeah, you can see the disappointment on his face.
I would love to see that again. Quite frankly, I would love to see it. Well, good effort, but he should have taken that.
27 for 1. Has came back really strongly in the over.
Yes, after
really
having
could have picked up 2 wickets.
had a dreaded early part of the over and came back strong, picked up a wicket, and could have had 2 had he taken the catch on his follow through. You see bowlers, of course, Raphael, who get upset when fielders do not back them up, and when the fielders drop the catch, and you kind of wonder, how do you feel as a bowler not taking your own catch? You should chide yourself even more vehemently.
Yeah, you would be very disappointed when that happens. Lewis into his second over.
Yeah, but let's not in any way take away from the effort of Pascal to take that catch. Into over number 3. Current run rate is just over 12. So they're fully on course.
Yeah, it was a big over from Pascal first over.
Yes.
Going for 5 with 10 runs in. Well, without a legal ball, hit down to backward square for 4. Just beating the field at short fine leg there. And playing it nicely, Andrew. Down to the boundary for 4.
Got the treatment it deserved. It was slanting down the leg side, and he went inside the line and swung it around late enough to get it through backward square. That was well played. It was a nicely flighted delivery, and there was inward movement. And onto the back foot, he used the tide of the delivery, the turn, natural inward movement, played it out on the onside to pick up a single.
Yeah, good batting after hitting a boundary. Didn't look to try to force anything, but playing the delivery on its merit, pushing into that mid wicket, which was vacant, and was happy just to pick up a single.
West Indies A playing against South Africa A. And South Africa A 101 for 1. So they're off to a good start. 16 overs gone. It's a one-day encounter. But that's a fine start.
Yeah, very good start. This one goes down to mid wicket, one bounce, then over the ropes of 4. Andrews again reaching for this one and hitting it over vacant mid wicket. So he's picking up another 4.
Yeah, pretty bold shot there by Andrew. And although there was someone down at the straightest deep mid-wicket boundary, hit it to his right. And well struck. Javon Andrews gone to 10 of 4. Yeah. 3 overs completed. Yeah, it's 38 for 1.
Yeah, and pretty good rate. Merrily going ahead, 38 in 3 overs. Just under 13 runs an over. 12.67, scoring way above the run rate required. So Pascal just bowled 1 over, going for 15. And now we see the off spin of Kem Charles. Only the left-handed Kyle Ramdu. Yeah, good confident start by the Nutmeg Warriors.
Yeah, from very early, we did suggest that the Safforn strikers didn't score sufficiently. 37 required in 42 balls. That should be easy asking.
Yes, I don't think they were happy with the score that they got, really. I think they would have been looking for much more than 74.
Yeah, you're right. They'll be disappointed with that.
It's 39 for 1. We're in over number 4. And the right-handed Andrew comes back into strike.
Wide signal by the umpire, but this has been a pretty good tournament. Not a high-scoring tournament by means of runs.
Played past the third man fielder. John having to run back. So another 2. Yeah, we haven't seen the big scores that we would have seen probably in previous tournament. But as you said, it has been a good tournament. I think, well organized. Matches started on time. And I think everything went really well in terms of the games.
Yeah, and hats off, of course, to the organizers. I think everybody has chipped in to get their responsibilities done and to do it with some measure of efficiency.
Short ball hit to third man, and good catch taken there by John. But what I don't think is that's really sort of poor shot, a short delivery. He just looked straight over John there, but I don't think he got enough bat on it.
No, but I love the catch. I really love the catch because that was going over his head, and I'd almost gone past it. If you want to put it, the ball had almost gone past him. I had to stretch the hands back over the head and still had to have the consciousness of mind, so to speak, to hold on even when he tumbled over. That's a fine shot. That's a great catch, really. Very good. That's what you call athletic. That's an athletic shot. Sorry, catch. Great athletic ability. And he tumbled over to complete it. Great work, great work. Those are the catches that they say win matches, and it may not result in a win here for Safforn, but quite frankly, that was brilliantly done.
Yeah, what was important, he held on to it.
Yeah.
He fell over, but he really held on to it. He has now picked up his second catch of the match. He would have the wickets that fell. He would have taken both catches. So 43 for 2, still in the fourth over.
Athletic ability. Well done, John.
Kem Charles.
So we've had a couple of good catches in this match today.
Final delivery of the over. McDonald off the mark. 44 for 2. Nutmeg Warriors. And they require to get just 75 for victory. Not any major concern for worrying at this moment. They're still going on with a healthy scoring rate. There's some 34 runs required. And we still have a 6 overs to bowl. So Nutmeg Warriors won't be too worried at this moment.
Oh, I think they should be rather happy with the way that things have gone. England versus the West Indies women. West Indies women 146 for 7, and England women responding. They're 80 for 2 after 10. So they need 67 in 60 balls.
Seemingly on track. So this is match number 22nd game. Dream 11 Spiceisle T10 tournament is the 5th edition. And one just want to see how grateful we are for continued sponsorship of this tournament. I think what was very encouraging, Stevenson, was the commitment of the teams. We would have seen that even the team that is involved in this tournament, they all look well organized in terms of making sure that all the players are taken care of, are provided for. So we've seen tremendous effort on the management of the various teams in this tournament.
Absolutely. And they seem to enjoy the game. Now that's what's important. Whatever you do, you should enjoy it. If you notice you're not enjoying it and you're not getting any fulfillment, then I would humbly say leave it alone. Get out of it. Enjoy what you do.
Yeah, it's so good to see the role that the management of the teams has taken up in terms of making sure that they squad their players. They are together. They seem to try to make sure that they have all what they want. That to me is a really good feature that I've been able to pick up in terms of the management of each of the teams.
And there been great camaraderie. The game has been played in the true spirit of sport.
Pull well down to mid-wicket and goes quickly over the rope for 4. Short delivery and really given the treatment.
Well, that was hit hard. Very hard indeed. There's a fielder down at long on. And that went so quickly. Not that he was that very far away from it, but it was clubbered. And it went over the boundary line very quickly indeed for a 4. The 50 is now being posted in over number 5, 50 for 2.
Yeah, McDonald, this sort of player, can hit the ball very hard. Full toss. It's driven the cover.
Yeah, I'll be disappointed with that though.
Yeah, should have done a lot more with that delivery. But a well-set offside field. You have the cover on the boundary. And that ball was hit just an extra cover.
Yes, it will take quite a bit of piercing to get it through. And even if you beat the extra cover that is a bit close in. Then you still got a sweeper, and there's a deep backward point and a long off.
Yeah, the long one is also is a bit wide, so it passes the extra cover, and the long one do have a chance of pulling it back. 51 for 2.
Interesting field that.
Short delivery. And the
Yeah.
well set offside field. Hit hard, but dunked to that field on the boundary.
Yeah, struck well. 5 overs completed. 52 for 2.
So just 23 runs required.
Yeah, at a run rate of 4.60. So that should be easy. It should be a walk in the park.
Yeah,
Or, let's put it this way, a walk into Lassages.
Yeah. 5 overs remaining. Well, St. Paul is coming off there and just seem to have developed some sort of an injury, just hopping off. We are seeing replacement Jamal Andrews. Just seem to be in a bit of pain there as he comes off.
Lassages, a very lovely area indeed. A playing field that has developed quite remarkably over the years.
Yeah, when you played, I do remember there were bananas at the back of the pavilion.
I think there used to be bananas back there.
Yeah, there was nothing as a
Yeah.
pavilion there.
Yeah, that's
But
right.
certainly this field has come a long way. Long way.
As like most of our playing fields here in Grenada, they've been upgraded quite remarkably especially over the last 20 or so years. I don't think really that it could be said that there are lack of playing facilities in Grenada.
Well, to be fair, that's something that we can boast about.
Yes.
The quality of our fields. We have tremendous facilities and facilities as good enough for regional games. If you look at every parish, there's something to offer. There's Lassages and Tongue, there's Tantine, there's Bouchejou, another tremendous facility. You go up to Progress Park. We do have a lot to offer in terms of the quality of our playing fields.
Absolutely. And quite a number of fields are now lit, inclusive, that's a wide outside the house stump, inclusive of Lassages playing field, which is also lit.
This one is swung down to mid-wicket. The fielder coming around, just had a look at it, go over his head. The short delivery, and McDonald getting under it and lifting it over wide long on mid-wicket.
Yeah, look how he
Straightish
stepped.
mid-wicket.
Sorry, Rafe. Look how he stepped outside the off stump and swung it. Got good meat on it. Good willow.
Hitting straight this time, and it goes away for another power hit. And once again, McDonald showing the strength, the power that he possesses, shortish in length, and hitting it straight back, down to the long on boundary for another 6.
Yeah, well, he certainly is on a roll and fancies himself to be in a ultra aggressive frame of mind and believes that he could clear the boundary, and we've seen him done that back to back for 2 maximums. Well played.
So 6 overs completed, 68 for 2, just 7 runs required. Again, we see the 6 hitting moves to 250.
Yeah, welcome to the 250 mark with 6s.
And the fours looking to head to 275, 271 fours struck.
Yeah, but I think a couple of days ago the sixes had overridden the fours.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. There were more sixes. There were more fours than sixes. Well, just seven was required. McDonald 21 from 11. Ramdu 7 from 10. And Charles 1 for 22.
Yeah, but those were a couple of hefty blows there by McDonald.
Kem Charles in his 2 overs, 1 for 22. And now we see Tyron Charles. Tyron Charles.
So it's been a fine performance here by the Nutmeg Warriors. Looks as though they're going to sail home quite comfortably. Maybe in over number 7 or 8. We're into over number 7 now. And they need just 6 runs. Can they get those 6 runs in this over? And they need to get that in 23 balls. The equation is quite simple.
So we see just an update in terms of boundaries. We probably maybe just a little bit ahead. 261, 247.
So is that 261 fours? Ripple?
I had a bit more than that based on my record. Played nicely down to the fielder on the cover point boundary, or more backward point.
Yeah, but it's been a lovely day, and as the game meanders to an end, the sun has come out quite resplendently. Lovely picture here at La Sagesse to climax the afternoon.
A superb shot, a carry power hit, shortish delivery, and you could see the power in the play, the Ramdu just getting on top of it and lifting it over cover.
Yeah, nice shot. Hit it inside out, made room outside the leg stump, and carted that over the deep extra cover boundary. And what a wonderful way to climax the innings. Nutmeg Warriors, they've won this by 8 wickets and won it comprehensively, rather easily, made it look simple, and it all started with the fact that they bowled well.
Yeah, good dominant performance by Nutmeg Warriors. Both on the bowling and now in the batting, even though they would have lost 2 wickets, but 76 for 2. And still over 3 overs to go. Will you suggest that it was a comfortable win? They made it look very easily.
Yes, it was quite an easy wicket, an easy victory, and to win by 8 wickets tells you how comprehensive and how clean the victory was. Just looking at the bowling department, Lewis, who started, didn't get any, none for 19 of 2. However, Pascal picked up 1 for 15, started off poorly and ended up well. Kem Charles, 1 for 22 of 2, a bit expensive, but an important wicket. Javed and Paul had 1 over for 8 runs, and Charles just 3 balls for 8 runs. So total of 76 for 2. Looking at the batting, well, it was Charles who opened the innings with Andrew. Charles went for 14. Andrew scored 12. 14 to Ramdu of 12 deliveries. And McDowell, who had a nice cameo, 22 of 12, including 2 massive sixes. Extras, healthy 14, that was too many. And 6.3 overs brought the total to 76 for 2. The last delivery was struck for a huge 6. So Nutmeg Warriors, they won this and won this game rather easily, convincingly. And they showed great skill, Raphael, and great maturity too.
Yes, they really played well. I think from ball one, they looked a very confident team as they went out there. And you could see that the opening bowling, they actually just stick to the plan. And it was really, as they bowled the Safforn strikers, you could see that there was focus. Having been able to bowl Safforn strikers 74 for 8 in the 10 overs. With only St. Paul 22 and Sylvester 14, 2 batsmen reaching in double figures. You always felt, it was a catch-up for Safforn strikers. Nutmeg Warriors made it look very easily. Again, we see the batting of Charles, who have been doing tremendously well in terms of 6 hitting. He has hit some 19 sixes. And McDonald came in a quick fire 22. And Ramdu finishing off with a 6. Really confident and a really good, good all-round performance by the Nutmeg Warriors.
Yeah, really great performance. Picked up a couple of points here. And so they've gone into second position there. I make it?
Yeah, they pushed to 10 points. And really second position. Close challengers still sit at the top of the table. Yes, I'm correct with that. Cinnamon Pacers still on 6 from 7. Ginger Generals 6 from 7. Safforn Strikers 6 from 8. And we have Billy Blaster at the bottom 4 from 8. So it really, we can confirm the first 2 there. And there's still 2 teams that can get in based on what happened in the remaining matches.
Yes. So the Nutmeg Warriors, they've got every reason to be happy and to rejoice. They've won a pretty simple, easy contest here, defeating Safforn Strikers by some 8 wickets. So we're going to go down to Rondell. John, not quite yet, is he?
Yeah, not quite ready. Just preparing for the man of the match. But again, Stevenson, as we look at the conditions, what is happening, there's quite a bit happening around us in terms of the weather. But we are...
Yes, I think we could go down to Rondell.
Yes, you can go down to Rondell. You take it from here.
All right, thank you very much. And we are here at the post-match presentation. I'm here with the captain of the Safforn Strikers, Kem Charles. Kem, a really tough situation. You needed to win today. You didn't get it. Tell us about that game.
Well, I think this game sums up how we've been playing all season. We've been struggling with the bat all season, and it shows here again. So right now we have to wait on teams to see if we can qualify.
All right, well, not a really good position to be in. The wait could be a bit agonizing, but we want to wish you the best, and let's hope that you just may have done enough to get in.
Thanks.
All right, so that was Kem Charles. I'm going to have a chat now to the Nutmeg Warriors captain, Andre Fletcher. And I certainly know that Andre will be happy. He has moved up the points table yet again. And so, Andre, a good win for you today. 1 up again.
Yeah, I'm very grateful for it. Now I can safely say we're in the top 2. So this is what we've been asking for from the start of the tournament. So I'm very grateful. It's just for us to try our best to see if we can win that playoffs and wait for whosoever is in the final.
Well, last year you seemed to be in a similar position where the Clove, they were ahead of you, but you just did all that you needed to do to make sure that you ended the champions. Do you think you can repeat?
Yeah, for sure. As I mentioned earlier, we've been in that position so many times, and we know what it takes to win. So I'm still not going to take things for granted. It's just to go there and play positive cricket. They have a very good team, so we want to do the basics as well as possible and try to execute each and every plan that we set out to go there and perform as best as we can.
All right. Well, you have one more game remaining, and we want to wish you the best of luck.
Yeah, thank you very much.
All right. So that was Andre Fletcher, the captain of the Nutmeg Warriors, and we are going to get into the presentations, and we are going to present first and foremost the Carib power hitter of the match, and that goes to Daniel McDonald. I really struck it well. All right, Daniel, you seem to have gone out there with a bit of fire, really looking to manufacture some good, clean power hitting.
Yeah, I'm in some form. Just the finger, I have a problem with the finger, so the skip just gave me the right way to go there and express myself to this.
All right, getting out there, seeing the conditions, not really a big score. What was the mindset?
Well, the plan was to just bat till the end, not to lose much wickets, and yeah, that's it.
All right, well, thank you very much, Daniel, and good luck as you continue through the tournament. Before you leave, I want you to just speak to your Nutmeg Warriors fans.
Thanks, man. Just everybody just back us, We always play a final, so just look out for the final.
All right, so there you had it. He's saying look for them in the finals, and I can tell you they are going to work hard. We're going to present the impact bowler and also man of the match, and that belongs to Dejon Charles, and so he's going to be presented. Dejon, you seem to be here at the post-match very regular. Things coming together nicely for you.
Yeah, obviously, once you hear that, I mean you're doing something. Yeah, what? Yeah, once you hear, man, you're obviously doing something well for the team, and I'm glad to be contributing for my team every game. All
right, the momentum seemed to be with you. You seem to be putting together some really good, crucial partnerships at the top. Is that how you intend to go through the rest of the matches?
Yeah, obviously in a T10 game, the start is very important, and I think we have been doing that well throughout the tournament, and it's for us to just carry on for the remainders.
All right, well, I spoke to Daniel. He says look for them in the final. What say you?
Yeah, well, obviously we're playing good cricket. Once we just keep on playing good cricket, I think we should be there.
All right, so that was Dejon Charles, the man of the match and the impact bowler for the final match for here today. We have one more round of preliminary games to go, so you're going to join us here tomorrow. The Nutmeg Warriors, they are going to be in action again as we look to close off what will be the preliminary stage and head into the playoff rounds. So until tomorrow, we see you again.
Everybody charge up. West Indies going high.